Welcome to RnG Save the World.
Where me, Gryphon, and Ryan over there, don't do anything yet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, no one has commented on how we can save the world, so we're still waiting.
We are. And the views of the episodes hit a little bit of a listener downage, but we're still doing it. It's fun stuff.
Yep.
I like it. Ryan is held hostage. We're doing it.
I did think of some things to talk about today. I want to get your opinion on.
I will give my opinion.
So, I was thinking about this last night. Cloud storage. What's your opinion on cloud storage?
I feel like it doesn't work a whole lot.
Yeah.
Once I had.
But as far as privacy though, how do you think about that?
I don't really care about that kind of stuff. Do you?
Well, like, say you using your computer and you put it in your banking information, and then that gets saved to the cloud. Like, how would you feel about that?
Does it not already?
I don't know.
When I'm like, don't forget my account number. Or is that?
I don't know. I was thinking about this because of Windows 11 is coming out.
Uh-huh.
And what I've heard, at least, is everything in Windows 11 gets saved to the cloud.
It's interesting.
Like, it doesn't save on your computer, it saves to the cloud.
So
Which, I mean, we've used Dropbox, we know seen how that's gone. It's like,
yeah, it's pretty epic, pretty good.
It works most of the time, but then sometimes it doesn't work.
Because you're in a no internet zone, maybe.
Maybe, I don't know. But now, just imagine that with like every file you have, just like saved to the cloud. Like you writing in Word or whatever, and it gets saved to the cloud.
Why would I write that though?
Would you not use Word to write?
In Word?
Microsoft Word.
I thought you said something else.
No, I was talking about Microsoft Word, like writing in Word, Microsoft Word.
I see.
So you're writing a book, and you save it, and it saves to the cloud.
That is true. It is a bit excessive to save everything to a cloud. I don't think anybody wants that.
Yeah, but I'm not sure. I was told by someone that it only saves in the cloud too.
Only?
So then if you're in offline mode, you wouldn't be able to get anything.
Yeah, it's kind of useless. Like you're going around on a laptop, you go into a Wi-Fi zone or whatever.
I don't know I'm not sure if that's 100% accurate or not.
Yeah,
but I did hear stuff like that, a bunch of rumors like that, so I don't know. I just thought it was interesting.
It is.
Because,
it is.
I mean, cloud servers and stuff are all like just like in one central location. So like every file is like gonna be like just like in those files, and that's feels like it's gonna make like a lot more problems.
Probably.
Because now like everything you have is now stored in a storage building full of servers.
My biggest problem with cloud storage is once I had a Terraria world saved to cloud storage, and then it just randomly got deleted, so I couldn't play anymore. And I was really fun.
That is a problem. I mean, even if you're not worried about like sensitive data getting out,
well,
if someone hacks into that specific server bank, then like all your stuff could just get randomly deleted.
Well, that's why I wouldn't use something that only uploads to the cloud.
Yeah, but that's what Windows 11 is trying to do, apparently.
I'm never going to get Windows 11. I've heard that 10 is good, and then any other ones aren't really.
Yeah, they never really did that great. I mean, Windows XP was like, good for its time, and it was simple and whatever. But everything up till 10, like 7 and 8, they're just terrible. And then 10 it works, but it's still Microsoft, So
Yeah. And that's why you gotta change to the minty Linux. Ryan, have you changed your remaining computer to Linux Mint?
I haven't done it yet because I just don't feel like downloading everything again.
Interesting. Quite interesting.
Because like I have so many downloads on here now that it's like it would take days and days and days to like download everything with my internet speeds.
Why, Ryan? Why don't you just have it on the cloud?
Just put everything on the cloud.
Just put everything up on the cloud.
I still have to download it down off the cloud.
Well, no.
Or at least access it from the internet cloud. I think you can have files just on the cloud and open them, at least with Microsoft, open them from the cloud and not even have them like on your like computer. You can just like open them without downloading them.
That's really weird.
It is really weird.
I remember when I was a kid, I didn't like the idea of cloud storage. I thought it was stupid.
Well, I mean, in a way, it kind of is stupid.
Yeah.
Like, let's take everybody's data and stick it all in this one warehouse.
I just thought, I can't remember exactly what I thought, but it's kind of just pointless if you've just got it on hand. If you already got the files, you don't really. I mean, you can create a backup, not just plugging it in somewhere and shifting it to another thing. If you need it on another device, just like send it over or whatever. It's a convenience, but it's not. It's overused.
Yeah. I mean, especially nowadays when you can get a 1 terabyte hard drive for like $100 or less.
No, dude, I got a 2 terabyte one for $30.
An HDD or?
I don't know.
Another HDDs are typically slower.
Probably HDD.
I think I bought my 1 terabyte SSD for $110.
Yeah.
That was a couple years ago.
And now you're a computer man.
Kind of. I still don't have a graphics card though.
Well, you gotta get that one with the 2 fans that is sold out all the time, from what I remember.
When I first built my computer, I went into Microzone and I was like, what do you have for graphics cards? And like, oh, we have some good options over here. This is the most popular right now. It's $1,200. And I was like, what? And they're like, oh, and then we have this one which is pretty cheap. It's $895. I'm like, what? That's $895 was their cheap option. I was like, man, this is crazy.
You should try going to one of those school sales.
School sale and just.
It's where, like a college will get rid of a bunch of their computer parts.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I got a monitor for $5.
That's pretty good.
It is.
My old work, they had they weren't great computers. I think they were like i5s or whatever, just like base work PCs.
Yeah.
But each computer in the building had 2 monitors.
Ooh, I like that.
And as I was leaving there, like I wasn't gonna stay there very much longer. They were talking about buying all new monitors.
Did you take one?
I didn't take one because the tech people were fighting back. They're like, "This is insane." The IT people.
The
'Cause
tech
it was like
versus
100.
IT.
It was like 125 monitors, and there was
Oh,
nothing wrong
wow.
with all the other monitors, and so.
Wow.
Like, there's nothing wrong with these monitors. We have budget we can spend somewhere else, because it's probably like 10 grand in monitors.
Ryan, would you get one of those vertical monitors ever?
A vertical monitor,
Yeah, would you get a vertical monitor?
where it's just like straight up instead of outward.
Yeah.
I don't know. It depends. In this specific area of desk space, it's possible I might consider one because I don't have that much, space to the sides. I'm mainly have space upwards.
Mhm.
So maybe, if it's a good price. Although it's kind of weird to think about, though. Just like to go straight up instead.
Yeah.
'Cause typically, I like a wider and shorter monitor.
You like the weird rectangles, so you can see where everybody is in Among Us, unlike how I could before.
Yeah.
I think people like vertical monitors. I think people who like them are usually checking a Discord or a chat for live streaming.
Oh yeah.
So
Yeah, that makes sense.
yeah,
I feel like if you just use that for work though, like every day, I feel like you'd have neck problems after a while.
yeah. Unless it was placed like very specifically.
Yeah.
Ryan, what are you gonna make a video about?
I don't know.
Why
I'm
not?
still trying to decide what to call my channel.
You should call it the Rye Guy. And then
The
you can
Rye Guy.
you can bake rye bread.
So like rye, like RYE,
Yeah.
rye guy. That reminds me. This is kid at the school I used to coach baseball at. This one kid would always call me that and be like, "Yo, rye guy, what's up?"
Yeah, I think I heard about that. Yeah.
Oh man, yeah, that kid was interesting.
I love it. Ryan, should we take a topic from the topic board?
Pick a topic from the topic board. Do it.
Okay. I'll pick one. I'll pick one that I wanted to talk about. Just a little bit. Here's the topic. I've played with batteries a lot. And not like AA batteries or anything, just like I've taken batteries out of electronics and I've made them do other things, right?
Mm-hmm.
Starting out, here's my origin story, Ryan, of possibly ending up blown up. So you know those batteries that you could stick your tongue onto and get an electric shock?
The 9-volt batteries.
I guess. I don't know the name. But did you know if you take a light bulb, like a small one, and you put the screw part on one end, and then you take a wire and you like put that wire around the other end of the battery, and you touch it to the base of the screw end, you can make a flashlight?
I don't know. I've done a lot of experiments, but
Well, Ryan, I'm here to say that you can, and I did, and I used it for like quite a bit.
how was it? Was it just like that? Where you just touch it to the wire, or did you have it like assembled in like a case or some sort?
Just touch it to the wire. I touched the wire myself, and I would have to position it so it would work. So yeah, I could turn it on and off with just like my thumb. So it was pretty cool. You know.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
It was also probably pretty dangerous, but it was also the best flashlight I've ever had.
Nice.
Yeah.
I don't know how dangerous it is. It's only 9 volts.
Yeah, only 9 volts. Like,
It's only really dangerous if the amperage is high and it arcs across your heart.
Well, Ryan, let's go forward a little bit, right? One time, my headphones just kept breaking. I'd get different ones, and I'd just break after a bit, and I was like getting tired of it. So I got myself some wired earbuds, and those sucked because they kept snagging on things. But then at the Walmarts, I found this thing that's meant to go in your car that can take a wired input and make it Bluetooth or whatever. I don't know how it was supposed to work for a car to make it so people wanted to use it. But I found that I could put my wired earbuds into that and Bluetooth it to my phone, which is pretty epic. Right? Oh, it was wireless. It was a Bluetooth adapter. So
Okay.
there's that, right?
Yeah.
But it had such a bad battery life. It would die after 3 hours, right? That's just not enough. I couldn't get through school with that. So
Yeah.
I started taking the batteries out of various electronics that I had, like headphones and like the dinkly earbuds I'd find on the ground. They're wireless. They had a battery in them, so I'd take them and I'd take them apart and I'd get the battery. And eventually, like 3 batteries later, you got some very nice, usable wireless Bluetooth adapter that could maybe blow up any second, but it's got like a great battery life,
Yeah.
It's got like no protection, no case. It's just this thing carrying around in your
You're just
pocket.
hanging out. Oh man. That's funny.
One of the batteries has a little bit of indentations around it, but
Oh man. Yeah, those lithium-ion batteries are dangerous sometimes.
I don't know. But I needed that music right, and for an affordable price.
I told you that I almost blew my RC truck up once, didn't I?
I don't remember you saying this. Tell the story.
Okay, well, this is before I was really into RC, and I never built any RC robots or anything. So I have this a Traxxas truck, RC truck, and I wanted a better battery on it, because it comes with just like a nickel acid battery. It's a bunch of cells. It doesn't hold a lot of charge. It's not very high voltage. So I wanted something that had more charge, so I drive it for longer.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't pay attention to swapping batteries, right? I was just like, oh, I can just put this battery in, it'd be fine, because it had the same connector on it. I was like, oh, it must be for the same thing, even though Traxxas is a huge brand that has like 10 or 15 different trucks that use the same connectors.
Mm-hmm.
So I put in here a 4-cell lithium-ion battery. And what I didn't realize is that the amount of cells you have, like 4 cells, it's times 3 for voltage. So, theoretic voltage. So, I went from a 12-volt nickel acid to like a, what is that, like 18-volt lithium-ion battery.
Nice.
So it actually worked for a little while, and it was good. It was doing well, and it held charge for a long time. And then one of these days, I was like, you know what? I'll take it out to the monster truck course I made out in the yard, because I built these ramps and stuff for the truck to drive on, because I put these big clog wheels on it.
Yeah.
And so I'm out there, and I try to do a backflip with it, and I'm like, oh, and I didn't make it. So I flip it over, and I go to drive it, and the truck just like takes off and starts driving itself. I'm like, what's going on? What the heck? And then I see smoke coming out of this thing, and this is so dumb. I pull the cover off, right? I pull the body off the car to get the electronics. I'm like, oh my gosh, and there's like smoke pouring out of the battery, and the battery's like swelling up like crazy. And I just like, I grabbed it. I grabbed the battery and unplugged it and just like chucked it out in the yard. I'm like, thinking back, that was probably a really bad idea.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but it totally smoked the ESC and melted all the components in it, and the battery was just like swollen. It's a swollen brick.
Wow.
It was pretty sketchy, man. It ended up costing me like $200 to fix.
Oh man.
Oh man, yeah. So always check those voltages first.
Yeah. Don't be like me or Ryan. Unless you want to make that flashlight, that's probably all right.
Yeah. I did ever since I started building robots, though, like combat robots and stuff. I did get a lot better with batteries and stuff. So what they're supposed to be is for lithium ions. Is you're not supposed to store them depleted, but you're not supposed to store them full either.
Interesting.
So they have to be like in the middle somewhere to have a good lifespan. Like you can store them full, but they don't live as long if you store them full. Also, don't cut the two leads to the battery connector at the same time.
Yeah. You'll get.
I didn't do that, but
right?
I know someone who did that. He was using isolated or grounded pliers, so they had the big rubber grips on him, so he didn't get shocked, but he totally toasted the battery.
What a fool! Let's have him on the podcast.
Oh, we could.
Next topic.
Oh, yeah.
Oh wait, you got something else to say?
No. Nope.
Right.
Continue. No,
Continue.
it was. I mean, I could talk about batteries all day, but
Let's talk a little bit
what's your
more
next
about
topic?
batteries. Do you have another? Well, if we can stick on this topic, let's just stick on this topic, right?
Yeah. Okay. Well, I can't remember.
Oh man,
You have to cut it out. Just cut it out.
not cutting it out. Well, I might. This is yours.
This is mine.
Yeah, this is yours.
Oh yeah, so I'll cut it out. Ha.
You'll have to cut it out. Yeah. Moving on to our another topic. We could do either undertake Gryphon business lies or placebo. I think that'd be good ones to do.
Placebo.
Want to do placebo?
Yeah.
All right. Placebo. Ryan, this is your topic. Was there anything that inspired it?
Mainly just that episode we watched on our MCP podcast where it's like that guy was healing people with quotation marks, but it's just a placebo effect and they're healing themselves kind of just by like power of suggestion kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
But also I keep like I watched workout videos for a little bit because like my brother-in-laws are always like arguing about proper workout techniques and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And like supplements and stuff, you know. And so I was watching some videos, and you know, there's so much like if you go to a fitness, if you type fitness into YouTube, there's probably like 8 million videos that are all telling you the different things.
Yeah.
And all telling you that the other one you just watched is totally fake and like it's dumb. But I watched one that said that most supplements are, and when people see like gains from them or like placebo effects, like because they're taking the supplement and they're like, oh, they think it was working really well, so they're actually training harder and actually working harder, and like they end up getting more muscle growth, but they're actually just like working harder rather than the supplement doing it, you know?
Yeah. I saw a thing where they gave like professional athletes, they'd be like, here, take this before one of their competitions or whatever they did. And it'd be a sugar pill, and then they'd think it was like steroids or something, and then so they'd like do very well in the race. But it's just placebo.
It's interesting, and it really is interesting.
Yeah.
Maybe we should do a whole study on it. Become doctors, get PhDs, and become placebo effects. Or just take steroids. You could just take steroids and become totally swole.
Oh yeah. And then we'll have all those little cake bags that they give you.
Yeah.
I don't remember what they give you. Ryan, what do steroids give you?
Huh?
Speaking
What do
of,
steroids give you? Steroids give you anger problems, increased testosterone,
man boobs,
and muscle growth typically,
muscle gross. Right.
and sometimes a deeper voice, and sometimes negative effects too.
Yeah. Ryan, you had a
Yeah.
speaking of, what was it?
Saying speaking of steroids, vegan gains. Am I right? Come on.
What it's vegan gains?
He's a YouTuber who
Ooh.
is like crazy, kind of crazy.
Does he? I seen a video where a vegan has been like, "Look, this is me before, and this is me now," and he looks sickly in the now one.
I don't know. I was watching another video on him. Someone was like freaking out. He wasn't freaking out. So that vegan gains dude, or whatever his name is, came after another YouTuber
Of course.
who was trying vegan food or something, or saying how he likes to eat meat or something. And then that he came after him because he also started talking about the vegan teacher, and it was like, this lady's crazy. It seems to like defending the vegan teacher and stuff. But this guy is actually kind of crazy. Like, he was saying how he hates children and he wants to kill children. I'm like, how is this dude not banned from YouTube? Like, he literally has videos of himself saying he wants to like injure and maim children or something. It's really bad.
It's a bit telling, you know. You'd be like, we don't know. It's enough. It's enough. It's enough to ban.
I think his claim to fame or whatever is that he's vegan and he has all these muscles. But if you look at like his videos and like his anger management problems, it's like these seem to be like steroid effects, kind of, you know?
Probably, yeah.
Especially since like the biggest muscle grower there is protein.
And there's not a whole lot of good plant proteins.
Yeah,
unless they're like supplements.
Yeah, so like I don't know exactly what he's doing. But he got a wolf dog with his girlfriend. And they made it go vegan.
Wow.
And it started having all sorts of health problems and stuff. But they were like, oh, it's not because of the vegan diet. He's just sickly. But like the breeder saw his videos and took his dog back.
Good.
Yeah.
You shouldn't make
it's a wolf dog. They are like, wolf dogs cannot just survive on plants.
No. I think that's funny. Why do people think that animals can just change with them?
Yeah, it's really dumb. Like, you can change because you can eat both meat and vegetables, but like dogs and cats and stuff, they eat meat. They eat birds. They eat snakes. They eat anything. They don't eat plants.
They probably didn't like account for a dog, like what a dog needs in its daily nutrition either.
Yeah. I know the vegan teacher has a dog that's vegan, and I don't know if it's had health problems or not, but it's still alive.
Good.
But you'd think it would have negative health problems, but you know. She claims it's super healthy and loves life and loves being vegan.
It probably doesn't love being vegan. I don't think it really cares. But, I mean, if it's doing good, then it's good.
Yeah. I mean, I don't have any problem with vegans or anything. I just like, the only problem I have is like when they're trying to like force upon you to be vegan. It's like,
yeah, it's a specific.
What's your problem?
It's a specific type of vegan that nobody likes. Does anybody?
Yeah, like if you're vegan, I'm not gonna force you to eat meat. Like, you have to eat meat. Like, you can do whatever you want, but just don't make me force me to eat vegetables only. That's ridiculous.
Yeah, it's like, hey, you know, there's like some vegans out there. I'm proud of those some vegans that just do it to help the world. That's good.
Yeah. Ben of the week is a vegan, I think, or he eats fish, right?
Ooh, pescatarian.
Yeah. That's what it is. But he was getting roasted by the vegan teacher, so he made a video about it and was like, "What's your problem, lady?"
Pescatarians are interesting. Don't you think? Do you think, Ryan?
Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty interesting. Like me, I don't care about my diet that much. Like I'll eat just about anything you put on my plate. So
Like cornbread and molasses? Yeah.
oh yeah, that's good stuff.
Ryan has eaten that before, just cornbread with molasses on top.
That's the only way to eat it when it's cold. I mean, when you're eating with chili, you can put some honey on it, but
One time I was at your house, the last time, I forgot to keep the chili for the cornbread, I think. So I just ate the cornbread all by itself.
cornbread is a separate meal, dude.
It felt like a separate meal.
Yeah, you eat your chili and get your onions on there and get your cheese on there.
I hate
and
onions.
then you'll
hot
get
onions.
your hot onions.
Ryan.
Wait, no.
Ryan.
You chop the onions cold and then you put them on top, so they're not hot.
Yeah. But Ryan, let's have a talk. All right.
All right.
In episode 7, I believe, we had to talk about wet food and dry food and all that different types of food. I'm here to give a food take, all right?
Okay.
I hate onions that have been cooked.
Does it matter how they're cooked?
No.
So like onion rings and like caramelized onions, and you hate that.
Onion rings are a little bit different. But I do hate caramelized onions.
Well, yeah. I mean, I can see that because onion rings are breaded before they're fried, so I mean they are a little more solid.
The reason why is because they still have the crunch for me. Honestly, that's probably the reason I don't mind with onion rings. But I do hate caramelized onions and onions in soups, and cooked onions.
Really?
Yes.
I think some of the only soup I've had that I can actually handle is like French onion soup, where it's like caramelized onions in the soup.
Ew. I hate that soup.
It's not bad, dude. It's actually pretty good.
It is bad.
I mean, I'm not French by any means, but it's good soup.
You are.
I'm not.
You mean soup that you can handle by enemies, but you mean like not take out the broth?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it's like one of the only soups. The other soup is the one where my mom makes tomato basil soup, but there's not
tomato
anything
basil
but
soup.
broth.
I love that. I love tomato and basil soup.
Yeah, everybody does. Everybody does, except me. I don't like it.
You don't like tomato basil soup, Ryan?
I don't like it. No, I will eat it.
What?
And that's the only thing served. Yes.
Why
I'll
don't you
eat it.
like it? Because
Well,
it's hot and wet?
It's it's like it's got like it's literally just like you're eating mash, kind of like. It is a thicker type of soup, but it's just like it's not water, but like it's pretty close,
What if you had it in a bottle, though?
In a bottle for like drinking?
Yeah, what if you drank it?
As like a shake or some kind?
Not a shake. It'd still be just soup, but you'd have it in a bottle and you'd drink it.
I mean, I could kind of see that. It depends on if I was like out camping or whatever, and I just had that with me. I would totally be fine with that.
Well, what if it was every day? Like an everyday life thing. You're like, oh, I'm feeling peckish. Let me have some tomato basil soup in a bottle. And not like a store thing, like you made it beforehand.
I don't know about that.
Why?
I don't think I'd go for that. Well, because I don't like it, first off, and for second off,
you only don't.
Put it in
you
a
just
bottle?
don't like it because it's hot and wet.
Probably. Because it's like a soup that's. Ugh.
What the heck?
It's not good, dude.
What to tell your mom?
She already knows.
She already knows. You put her through that every time she makes tomato basil soup, Ryan.
The last time she made it, I was at my girlfriend's house, and she was like, "Are you
Ah,
coming over for? Are you coming home for dinner?" I'm like, "What are you making?" She's like, "Tomato basil soup." I'm like, "Babe, what are we having for dinner?" And she's like, "We're having tacos over here." I was like, "No, I'm staying, staying for tacos."
stay with tacos. Funny for a Texan to say. Staying with tacos.
Yeah.
I think that's the funny part of Texas. They were all like,
It was.
"Oh, freaking Alamo and whatever," which was an anticlimactic thing to learn about. And now it's just a whole mix.
Yeah.
Ryan, what do you think about the Alamo? In a historical.
I've only historically,
Yep. Like the fight.
and it really sucked.
What?
It really sucked to have been in the Alamo.
Yeah.
Or like everyone, everyone gets killed. Of course, if everyone got killed, then I guess it wouldn't really suck that bad because you would be dead too.
I mean, it kind of sucked to die.
It sucked to be the last one to die.
I could be the last one to die.
Yeah, I've been there. Have you been there?
Nope.
I've only been there once.
I don't
But
see
it's
the
kinda weird.
significance in going.
No, it's just kind of cool. Because it's like, it's like the same building that was there in the history books. So, the weird thing is, though, the city built up around it. So, like, right across the street is, like, these, like, weird, like, tourist shops. And I mean, like, it's right across the street. Like, it's probably 15 feet from the Alamo to, like, these weird tourist shops and, like, this huge town center.
That is awesome.
Yeah, I think someone wanted to buy it and turn it into a roller coaster at one point.
History. A roller coaster? Wow.
Yeah, I don't really know how that would work.
Ryan,
How do you turn it into a roller coaster, though?
I have no clue. It would maybe be a story thing, I guess. Nobody would want to go on a roller coaster with a story like that.
And everyone's dead. And so are you, and he drops it.
You're like, yeah. Ryan,
Mm-hmm.
let's talk about the historical statues and monuments that have not recently really, but in the past, just in the past couple years, just been like broken. And let's just talk about it like ethically, not politically.
Yeah, I think it's kind of dumb though,
Yeah.
because like it's just a bunch of rock. Like in my opinion, statues in general are just kind of dumb. But
I can see that. Yeah.
also breaking them down is also really dumb.
Yeah.
Like you're saying, like, what's the point?
I have the same point of view. I didn't really get the point in. I mean, they're there. They can be broken. They could not be. It didn't really matter to me, honestly.
Yeah, like I don't have like sentimental value of like old things like old people like other people do.
Yeah.
Some people like, oh my goodness, like they'll find a truck that's like almost perfect, but it's like it needs a lot of work, and they'll spend like hours and hours and hours and hours and tons of money just to fix it up how it was in the original.
Mm-hmm.
But in my opinion, it's like, okay, so you took this truck and you put thousands of hours and you put thousands and thousands of dollars in this, and it's the same truck from the 60s, and it's just as bad as it was in the 60s, in my opinion.
Like you could. What? Here's a question for you, Ryan. Would you take the truck frame or whatever and make it into like a new car with the same frame from the 60s?
Yeah, I mean, you take the body and the chassis, whatever, and you make it into a road worthy car that's like up to today's date. That to me,
Yeah.
is better because now it's actually roadworthy and enjoyable to drive versus exactly how it was in the 70s, which was not that great, but it drove and it brings back memories, I guess. I don't know.
That's pretty much my point of view on these things. It's things aren't like they were, but they are like they are now, so it's pretty cool.
Yeah, to me, it's just all kind of pointless.
Ryan, you saying,
especially with cars.
Ryan, are you saying you won't look back on these episodes of the podcast we did together?
I won't look back on them and be like, oh, I want this exactly how it was back then. Like, time moves on, you got to move on with it, in my opinion.
Very true. I think it'll be fun to look back on, just to learn from now. Not to be like, oh, we should do that again. But maybe we should.
No, definitely. That'd be the same thing with like cars back in the day. You look back and you're okay. You learn from that, and you're like, okay, this are the problems with that car. I could make it better.
Yeah. It's like taking those really old cars and making it so you can drive them around.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty much what you said. I was talking about like the ones with the big old wheels. They got that.
With the big old wheels.
Have you watched the movie Cars?
Yeah.
You know that one that's like this old grandma?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Those cars.
Yeah. A lot of times I see those cars all the time because around here people just have them like in their yards.
I love them.
But they don't drive anymore. They had so many problems back then with those engines.
Yeah.
Because it was just weird. Like, it was a totally different system. Like, back then it was like a 6-volt system. Something weird. Like, you can't even get 6-volt batteries anymore. Unless you, like, get specially made batteries and stuff. So, in my opinion, the best thing to do with those is to turn them into hot rods and rat rods.
Hot rods? What do you mean? What do you mean by that, Ryan? What would you do?
Well, you take the body and you clean it up and you paint it real nice, and then you stick like a V8 engine in there from like, I don't know, a Challenger or something,
Okay.
You make it really cool, and then that'd be a loud engine and big tires in the back and stuff.
I mean, I don't like the loud engine. Are you saying you would big tires in the back? Are you saying you would like make the front really low and the back high?
No, typically you'll put bigger tires in the back, but it'll be a level ride height.
I'm not understanding. I don't get it.
So, it's kind of difficult to understand. I can send you a picture, or you can just look it up.
Let me just look it up. Tell me what
you'll have it.
search.
You'll have it leveled out. You should probably search just hot rods. You probably just search hot rods and find it.
Let's see.
Just go to images.
And most of these cars, just they look the same, really. They are low to the ground, which I don't like myself.
Yeah, but do you see some of them that have like fat tires in the rear and like skinnies in the front?
That's weird, Ryan. Would you keep it up like they usually are, or down low like these pictures are?
If I was to build one like that, if it wasn't for a specific purpose and it was just for like show, I would definitely put it low.
What about for like use?
Well, what I would probably do if I was going to drive it a lot is I'd put airbag suspension in it. So it would be like a regular ride height for driving, but then for a show, you could just let all the air out of the bags and it'd just be like laying on the ground.
Very nice. I have another question, Ryan.
Okay.
Because I am, like a dude of my age, I get a lot of recommendations for videos of people modifying their cars, and so I see a lot of videos where people they're like, "How low is my car? Let's see," and they'll stick a playing card, and they'll try to like shimmy it under, and it won't really do that. What do you think about those kinds of things? Cars.
I think it's really dumb.
All right, there we go. Our opinions line up. We're good.
Yeah, imagine this: you're driving your lowered car, and it's fixed at that height, and you're driving out here, like where I live, and you hit a pothole. Like you're then gonna just like scrape the whole frame off onto the ground.
Yeah. Oh,
it's really
Ryan.
dumb.
Ryan, do you know the lip that they put at the bottom, at the edge of the things there? There's like a little
the air dam on the front of the bumper.
Air dam. I guess it's like a skirt. It's like a skirt around the car.
Yeah, typically it's in the front. It's called an air dam. Typically, if it's on the front bumper,
What do you think about air dams?
They can look really good, or they can look really, 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 really bad.
What did you see the phase where there was like this pink thing to go on the air dam part, and people were like, if they had it on theirs, they were like, oh, it's super cool, but then it just ended up being a manufacturer's thing.
I don't think so.
That was pretty dumb when I got into that.
Yeah. Typically, if it's a smaller type air dam that's actually functional and actually helps with the downforce of the car, I think it's okay.
Yeah.
But have you seen those Japanese ones?
Possibly.
Where it's like extremely long.
Let me see. Let me try and search this up.
I'm trying to find it right now. There's a specific car community that does it for Japanese cars. I think in Japan. I'm not sure.
I searched Japanese air dam and nothing is coming up so far. I do believe you. They do some weird things to their show cars. And again, we do it too over here. It's just like different weird things. Have you seen?
Yeah.
Have you seen where people will take their car and they're like, "Oh, I wish it was shaped better." So they'll put, they'll like mold it with a different kind of material. It's not metal, but have you seen any
like
of that?
Fiberglass?
Probably.
They'll put fiberglass body kits on their cars.
Well, I think it's probably not that, because it's this thing that they can put on with gloves.
Put on with gloves?
Yeah, and then it will harden, and then they'll like spray over it to make it look like it's just part of the car, right?
Oh, like Bondo?
Probably Bondo.
I mean, I've seen a couple people make their own lift kits or whatever.
Modification. I probably can't find it. It is weird though. They'll cut out a part above a wheel, right? Because they don't like how it looks, and then they'll put that stuff on, and it'll give it a different look. Because they've molded it to look a certain way. But at that point, it's just a weaker part of your car.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen people do spray foam and then like sand it and then fiberglass it, so you have a fiberglass part in the end. It's not foam, and then they'll bolt it on.
Weird. Oh, have you seen, Ryan? Have you seen a lot of cars that have weird rubber band hairband thing keeping the bumper on?
No.
They'll put like 2 bolts with a lip on each side of the bumper, connecting it to the rest of the car. And then they'll have bands connecting those two things, and they're on each side of the bumper, and then like that's the thing keeping on the bumper. I don't know.
I've seen clip-on bonnets and air dams that have they have what's it called, like the rods that are bolted to it holding the air dams on.
I don't think that's it. Here. I'll search. Here, band bumper.
Rubber band bumper. I did find a couple pictures of what I was talking about.
What's it called? Is there a name?
I can't find out what it's called still, though. I can send you a picture.
Do it. Man, you really need to know cars and they are to search these things, sis. I have just not found anything I've been trying to search for.
Yeah, oftentimes it's very specific stuff.
I'll talk about something I do know a lot about, a fair bit about. Ryan, what do you think about wraps for cars?
I've always wanted to know how long they'll last. Like, people say it'll last a while, but if you change your want to change your paint often, it's a good idea.
True.
But I'm not sure how long it lasts. I mean, I'm sure it depends on where you live and how you're driving it and all sorts of factors and stuff, and the quality of the wrap. But I think it's pretty cool, but the problem is you have to have a paint underneath. Or at least like a clear coat. So if you had a car that was like unpainted or needed the paint stripped off of it, you'd have to like clear coat it a bunch of times and then put a wrap on it. So it would be better to just paint it.
I think. No, there are some that are just like clear wraps, and I think that's dumb. But I do think that if the wrap had a art design on it, that'd be pretty cool. Do you think? Like, if a wrap had a flame on it and then you put it on?
I've seen several cars driving around in the city where I live, and they've had weird wraps on them, which kind of look cool sometimes. There's just one guy who has I think it's a Nissan Z, and it's wrapped with like a bunch of anime characters on it.
Does that mean the future? Was it
I don't know.
Cool anime people or weird anime people?
I don't remember.
Okay,
I found it though. I found it.
Oh,
it's called Cadia Racer.
Cadia Racer. Kaido Racer? That is a pretty long wrap.
Or Bosuku style.
Interesting.
BOSOZOKU style.
Oh,
that's some crazy stuff right there.
Ryan, would you drive a car like that?
I really don't think that's practical to drive anywhere.
I think it's practical to drive everywhere, especially on your streets.
Like, do you see these ones where like the exhaust pipes are like going all the way past the cab?
Yeah. It's not just for looks, Ryan. It has both function and appearance. But really though, these cars are definitely taken to the max for just looks.
Yeah. I don't think you could actually drive some of these on the street.
I can respect it, but obviously my style is function.
Yeah, it's a little better when you can actually use the creation you've made. I've been getting into a lot more like off-road racing and stuff. And as far as my YouTube searching content goes.
Oh, okay. I thought you were like you had a dirt bike and you were just off-roading places.
No, not yet. Maybe in the future.
Don't do that.
Yeah. but to me, those are more practical cars because you can still drive them on the street, and then you can still you can take them off the road too. So, they're like more practical.
Like a four-wheeler?
Only thing they're yeah, well, 4-wheel drive trucks and stuff.
Oh, four-wheel drive trucks. I see.
Like medium-sized lift kits.
What's a lift kit?
A lift kit is just basically a kit you can buy typically, or you can build yourself that gives you a higher ground clearance.
Nice.
So you can go off-roading and not like get bottomed out.
Oh, speaking of off-roading, a lot of people at my school would take their leaf springs out. I think that's a bad thing. Ryan, give your opinion as a car man, please.
They'd take them out?
They would remove them from their Jeeps.
Would they change and put some other type of spring in there?
They'd just take the leaf springs out.
But you can't just take the leaf springs out.
Apparently they did.
Because the leaf spring attaches your axle to your frame.
Dude, I'll look this up.
Because if you were just to remove your leaf springs, then your axle would be sitting on your frame. Literally just sitting on your frame. And only be attached to your transmission. Or only attached to your car via the transmission and your drive shaft. Now, if you take the leaf springs out and you replace them with coil springs or coilovers or something like that, then that kind of makes sense.
I'm getting there. But before I reach that point, this is the end of the normal episode for RnG Save the World. If you want to hear us talk about getting rid of Jeep's leaf springs, you can either not or support us on Patreon. If you want more of our content, check us out on YouTube. We're RnG Save the World. It's just the same name for now. Maybe it'll be different later. And you can email us at rngsavetheworld@gmail.com. You can leave us a voice message. And that is all.
Bye.
Goodbye.